About a year ago, in the summer, this took place. I'd been looking out my kitchen window for 5 years, and my backyard, it was, it looked like a prison yard, really. It had a weight set that was rusted, and smashed bottles, and garbage everywhere, and random barbed wire. I don't even know where the barbed wire came from. It was just there to make the yard look worse, I think. That was. And one morning I woke up and I said, that's it. That's enough. I can't take this anymore. I'm going to make this yard look good. And I go outside and I take a garbage bag and I start cleaning up the backyard, like 6 in the morning. My neighbors that I share a floor with are Ecuadorian gangsters. There's a bunch of them, and they all have the same nickname, Blanco. So we basically call them like small Blanco, medium-sized Blanco, and then there's like the main Blanco. And the main Blanco, around 11 o'clock, he opens his window and he says, "Yo, what are you doing?" I said, "I'm cleaning up this yard." And he said, "All right, I'll join you." This is like the first time I've ever spoken to the main Blanco in like 5 years of living there. And he comes out and we start cleaning this backyard together, and we're talking, and he tells me, he'd been in juvie hall when he was younger. He may or may not have stabbed somebody, we don't know. But he learned how to draw there, and he was reformed by learning artwork, and he came out and now he does tattoos out of his kitchen. So that explained why a lot of people were coming in and then leaving with bloody shirt arms and stuff. That questions were being answered, And we're cleaning this backyard together, and so as the day went on, some of the neighbors upstairs were like, "What are you doing?" We're like, "We're cleaning the yard." It was like the Berlin Wall coming down. They're like, "I'm coming to help, Let's do this." I guess everybody was as depressed as I was from looking at this backyard. And so the whole building comes together, and we're cleaning this backyard together, and we did it. We got rid of the rusty bench press. That was it. It was like liberation. And Blanco and we start talking and hanging out, and we had some beers afterwards. And I come up with this idea. I said, what would really be great to make this yard complete? Chickens. We should get some chickens. I said, I'm done paying for eggs. That's some major expense in my life. Eggs. And he was like, "Yeah, man, I'm in. Let's get some chickens. Let's do this." So Blanco and I, he goes, where we going to get chickens? And I said, live poultry shop. I see them all over. We could go to a live poultry shop. We'll get some chickens. So we venture out to find a live poultry shop, Blanco and I, and we find one, and it's run by an Arabic dude. And we go in and we go, "Hi, yeah, we'd like to get some chickens, and we'd like to take them, to go alive." And the guy goes, "My friend, we don't sell live chickens. It's not legal. We only weigh and fillet." I'm like, "Well, just weigh and don't fillet." And he's like, "No, fillet and weigh. Only fillet and weigh." And I'm yelling, "Weigh and don't fillet, And Blanco's just like, "F this, we're going to steal a chicken." He's like, "You distract him. I'm going to grab a chicken." So I go over to the dude, and I start talking to him. I think it's going to be quick, but there's like some Benny Hill chase going on out of the corner of my eye with Blanco and the chicken. So I start talking to him. I'm like, what's the most chicken you've ever sold at one time? He's like, I don't know. Why would the... What do you want? You ever seen the movie Chicken Run? What? And then he sees what's going. He goes, "What's your friend doing?" You know. And then Blanco hears him. He goes, "Oh, let's go!" And he just runs out. And he's like, "Come on, we got." I don't think we even needed to run out, but we did. And we just ran out with no chicken. We weren't even really caught. But we started running out, and there was like a Spanish dude who had been standing by and listened to the whole thing. And he calls Blanco over, he's like, "Yo, primo." And he says something in Spanish to Blanco, something like, pollo, murió, ¿quién cree que mañana? And Blanco, sí, Yanko, pues pollo, And basically what the conversation translated to was, I know a place where they do under-the-counter live chicken sales. And I'll tell you where it is. So he tells us about this place, and we go there, and it's run by Spanish people, and just Blanco goes in, and works his magic all smooth. Hey, ¿qué pollo? Hey, yeah. And the guy's like, sí, come, Takes us in the back, and he grabs a chicken, and gives it to us, and then he comes out and he goes, "You guys want a rooster too?" And he brings out this beautiful rooster, and Blanco's like, "Oh, that's an ill rooster, damn." And it was a beautiful, I don't know if you've ever seen like a rooster up close. They are beautiful animals. So we start talking about, we're like, yeah, I guess we need a rooster to, make these eggs happen. So we should take a rooster, which is actually completely wrong, we found out, because the roosters really fertilize the eggs and then they're completely inedible. But we didn't know that. So we're like, yeah, we'll take that rooster. Let's go. And so we got this chicken and this rooster, and we're walking down Grand Street, and we feel like $1 million, We're like, we are going to change our lives. We're going to be eating fresh eggs. We get fancy. We start talking. We're like, yo, man, these hipsters are going to be coming knocking at our door. Organic eggs. We're going to make a lot of money off this. So we're walking with these chickens. And we bring them home. What we didn't realize is we bought an old chicken, which was postmenopausal, and had stopped laying eggs. It was at that point. And the rooster, from being in a dark, enclosed space for so long, had no concept of time. According to the sun, it had a broken internal clock. So this rooster's like going off at all times. 5 in the morning, 3 in the afternoon, 8 in the evening. Just like times, you're like, really? That now you're going on? But we loved this chicken and the rooster. We named the rooster Juanito, and the chicken was Doña. And the rooster is real smart, and it starts to, they start sitting at my window or Blanco's window, depending on who's home when they're hungry, and even tapping with their little scratchy claws. So we start really falling in love with these chickens, and Blanco and Juanito start getting pretty close, Juanito's kind of learning his name. He'll be like, Juanito, and they start running up on him. And things are good for a while there, little things start to pop up, like on the wireless signal. Somebody named their network "Shut Up Rooster." That was one. That was one thing I noticed. And then one day randomly on a telephone pole on the block, there was a sign that said "Honk if you love roosters." But other than that, things were good. Life was good for a little while. Until one morning I got woken up by knocking at my window. There was an Irish lady who was like 7 months pregnant who lived on the block. And it's early in the morning. She starts knocking. And I go and I open the door and she goes, "It's not your rooster." And I'm like, actually, it's a joint-owned rooster, but... Go on. She goes, "I'm pregnant. I'm not rooster. It's waking me up at random hours in the day. And it's ruining my pregnancy. You gotta get rid of the rooster." I'm like, all right, look, I'll talk to the other person whose rooster it is, and maybe we could figure this out. And I'm thinking, okay, well, this is, obviously a delicate situation. She's pregnant. This ought to be okay to talk to Blanco about it. And I go, and he just flips out. He's like, "White people are destroying the neighborhood. They're trying to take my rooster, and they're never getting it." I'm like, oh, this is worse than I thought. And I'm like, look, you talk to her. I put him on the phone with her, and he disappears with my phone for a while. And then he just comes back and goes, "It's all good. We worked it out." I'm like, really? It's worked? What'd you say? He's like, "Don't worry about it. It's worked out." I was like, all right, that's good. And like a week goes by, and then an inspector from the city shows up at our door. And Blanco comes over. He's like, "We got to hide the rooster." And he's got like... It's a crappy old building, and there are these wooden floorboards in his kitchen. And we lift the floorboards, and we put the rooster underneath the floorboards. And the inspector comes in, and he's walking around. It's like that scene from Inglourious Bastards, That is the rooster! But he's like, "You guys got a rooster in here?" And we're like, "Nope, no." He's like, "I had some complaints that there's a rooster in this building." And we go, no. He's like, "I think there's an injured cat on the block that has been making some noises. But there's no rooster here." And then just then, the stupid internal clock on Juanito goes off, and he just, from under the floorboard, and we're caught red-handed. We're busted. And he's like, "Yo, you gotta, you have a week to get that rooster out of here. Otherwise, you got a $2,000 fine from the city." And then Blanco, I think he just decides he could probably connect with him on a minority level. And he's like, "Yo, man, white people trying to destroy this neighborhood. I've had that rooster since I was born," which I don't even think is possible. I don't know how long roosters even live, but I'm pretty sure not 30 years. But the guy's like, "No, you got a week." At first he's like, "Look, we split it $1,000 each on the fine." I'm like, "You don't have $1,000, and I don't have $1,000. He's like, "I'll double up on tattoos. We're gonna do." I'm like, "We're just gonna keep getting hit with more and more fines. We gotta get rid of this rooster." He's like, "I can't see anything happen to Juanito, man. I can't see it happen." I'm like, "Oh, look, I'll deal with this. I'm gonna get this done humanely. Nothing's gonna happen. We'll find a place." So I start calling farms. They're like, "Oh, you should call this place Farm Rescue." I call this place Farm Rescue. And the woman gets back to me. I had a voicemail from Farm Rescue. "Hi, this is Sandy from Farm Rescue. I got your message about Juanito, your rooster. And I'm sorry to tell you, but we literally have roosters coming out of our ears right now." Literally. I'm calling the Humane Society. Nobody can help. And it's like 2 days till D-Day. We have to get rid of the rooster or we get hit with the fine. And I figured I only have one option, and that is a drop and run. And a drop and run is exactly what it sounds like. It's me going to a farm and dropping the rooster and then running. And I said, "Blanco, you down to do this with me? I scouted out a good farm. We could do this. It's a humane farm. It's a petting zoo. They got a pumpkin patch and kids." And he goes, "It's too painful for me, man. You got to do it on your own. You got to do it. I can't do it. I can't see Juanito go." And the day comes, for me to do this drop and run. And I remember Blanco sitting on the stoop holding Juanito, and he is crying like I never saw him cry. Like he is bawling. He's kissing Juanito. He's like, my little dude, oh, I hate to see you go. And I'm like, I gotta take him now. The neighborhood perceived them both to be like loud and annoying and wanted them out of there. But if you got to know them, they're really pretty good dudes, you know? And I think it bothered him that there was really just nobody that would stick up for this innocent rooster. Thank you very much.